everybody, and welcome back. My name is Suzanne Lyons, and this is tip number 8 of our 10-tip series, this time on dealing with stress in the entertainment industry. And as I promised you, do I have a treat? Oh my gosh, do I have a treat? Joan Pastor, who I've known for a long time, a very close friend, and a psychologist to the stars. And absolutely brilliant. She works with people to kind of, create a growth that brings people up to new levels that they never even thought imaginable in this entertainment industry. And she has incredible tips to offer, so much so that I've asked her to join us for two sessions, right. 2 different sets of tips that I wanted to bring to you guys. And Joan really is the expert. I mean, she is the psychologist to the stars and famous and known for that. So we're kind of very privileged. You want to get this. We are privileged to have her here today. And I'm going to take full advantage. So let's get started. Let's hear, what is it that you want to share today in terms of this tip for tip number 8, actually, on what you could offer to help people, get kind of a handle on how can we start to relieve stress. It's something, Joan, that we all have to deal with. Right. Not just the stars. We're talking everybody at every level, every facet of this industry and beyond has to deal with stress in our lives. So what can you offer us that will give us that bit of relief,
Okay, no problem. I'll tell you, when it comes to tips for reducing stress, getting rid of stress, and preventing it in the first place, I'm probably a mecca to come to, because just over the years, I've developed many techniques.
Really?
I've seen people do things that I thought were really powerful, and there's a lot that we can apply to the entertainment industry, which I think, being that I also work in the corporate world so much, I would say that the entertainment industry has got to be one of the most stressful, if not the most stressful industry and profession of all of them. Wow. So I can certainly understand, stress and entertainment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give you a tip that's going to sound rather mundane, but it's actually one of the most powerful ones I know. And I've gotten feedback from people all over the world in terms of how effective it is. And the focus of this tip is going to be on an aspect of stress that is caused mainly by lack of confidence. And the reason why I want to focus there is, and not only, by the way, for this tip, but also for the next
okay,
YouTube
so this is going to set the basis for the next one?
Exactly.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
Is because the lack of confidence, you can be the most confident, most gifted, even the most business-oriented, which you need those business skills to also be successful. You could be the most creative person ever. But because this industry is so brutal, and it's so competitive, a lot of times people end up beginning to doubt themselves. And there's a lot of lack of confidence. And of course, it can be there in general, or it can be right before specific events like an audition.
A meeting.
A meeting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Boy, oh boy.
Negotiation.
Yeah.
I work with actors to negotiate contracts.
Wow.
So it's absolutely. So here's what I suggest. First of all, you always want to take advantage of the luxury of preparing yourself when you know you're going to be going to, let's say, an audition or a meeting where you know you're going to be nervous, where those butterflies or that lack of confidence might be there.
Okay.
And so here's what I would like you to do. The night before the meeting or the audition, I would like you need to find a place that's quiet, that's private, for about 30 minutes. So if you're home with your kids, you're going to have to go in the bathroom, lock the door, and tell them, you're busy. They can't bother you. But you're going to bring into the bathroom, if that's where you do this, a big pad of paper and a pen or a pencil. And here's the thing. In order to get rid of stress, in order to restore confidence, you first have to get to the root cause. What exactly at this particular moment in this situation is causing you to feel anxious, stressed out, and or lacking confidence? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to sit down, preferably at a table, where you're by yourself. You take your pen, you take the pad of paper, and you just write. Complete stream of consciousness. Now, I know some of you do journaling, so that, for those of you who do journaling, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. But what I mean here is not even so much journaling. I mean, you're going to literally dump out, onto the paper, all your thoughts, all your feelings, your concerns, your worries, your emotions, your hatreds, your loves, your curse words, your happy words, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling at that moment, okay, I want you to get it out in the paper. Now, we're assuming that this is going to be connected to the event that's coming up.
God, that's my question was going to be. So when I'm thinking about my meeting tomorrow and all these emotions are coming up, that's when I write down. I write down all of it.
That's correct.
Okay.
Now, if something else comes up with it, just put it out there.
Okay.
Don't censor anything. Just write it all out. Write. And don't start trying to organize it, because a lot of times there's a strong tendency to do that.
Yeah, I can see myself doing that, I bet. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Just keep writing until you literally, there's nothing more coming out of you.
Yeah.
That is called doing a dump sheet. And I'll come back to the origin of that term in just a minute. But
I thought it was going to be this fancy doctor's thing with Dr. Joan Pastor. I thought it was going to be
not.
this big, like, the words you can't pronounce. Itis or whatever.
No, I don't operate that
Dump
way.
sheet. I love it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I'll make up a technical term if you want me to.
No, I like that because we can all relate to that, and it so is what
Dumping
it
it
is.
out.
It's dumping it out.
Well,
I
actually,
love it.
since you say that, I'll tell you where that comes from.
Okay.
It comes from the field of journalism.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
And originally, and I don't know if they still do it today,
Wow.
but originally journalists,
Yeah.
before they were supposed to write a piece, before they were supposed to, actually get involved in any topic, originally they were supposed to do that. They were supposed to take paper, go somewhere, and dump out on the sheet everything that they feel and think and know about the topic at hand.
Got it.
So that they could clear their mind and they
Yeah.
could see their biases
Brilliant.
and see their concerns. Now, I'm not gonna get into this, but actually doing the dump sheet is a neurological event.
Really?
When you do it, we don't know exactly why, but we do know that you're in one part of your brain when you're in a funk in your emotions and
Yeah.
anxiety. We need to get you to the frontal cortex. We need to get you where you are calmer, able to reason, able to think through what is the best way to handle this meeting and these, what solutions you have for handling any concerns and worries that came out on that paper for the audition or for the negotiation or for whatever meeting, with some bigwig that you're concerned about. So, we don't know why this works. We only know that the act of writing and doing it, getting it outside yourself, makes you literally move down a neural pathway to a part of your brain that is much more able to take all this emotional, stuff, right? And to begin to get clarity. And that's what you're looking for here, clarity. What exactly is the thing that is worrying you the most? What is driving the anxiety the most? And by the way, when I asked that, whatever was the first thought that came up in your head, not it.
Huh. Oh,
Not it.
really?
Dump it out.
Oh,
not
okay.
it.
Keep going and going and going and going.
Most of the time, that's why you do the dump sheet.
Got it.
Because the more you do it, the more you begin to get clear, not only where the exact problems are or your key concerns are, but this is the part we can't quite explain. But once you get into the frontal cortex, in here, where analysis and reasoning and logic, and yes, creative people have that too. They just have to learn how to access it, and this is a good way.
That's great.
All of a sudden, ideas in terms of what exactly to say, what exactly to do, how I should come across, what I should not come across as. Everything becomes clear, and you also often get brilliant ideas. So, for example, if you're going into an audition, you might have prepared for this audition, which is good, nothing wrong with that. Then you do your dump sheet, you might end up changing your whole audition approach, but it'll be much, much, much more effective.
And in the case of, let's say me, I'm mapping it onto myself here selfishly as a producer in my meetings.
Of course.
You know what I mean? I would have that same effect if I'm going to a big meeting, which I had one just recently, actually, a very big one. So then by doing that, I become more clear, and by becoming more clear, I become an opening for ideas on how I would be approaching that meeting in a much more powerful way, let's say.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Exactly right. And you used a key word there, an opening. And that's what it does.
Okay.
Nature abhors a vacuum. When you clean out your brain, but you can't just talk to people about it.
Got it.
You can't just soak in the bathtub and think about it. I mean, you have to literally sit down with the paper.
Okay.
And you have to take the pen and you have to write it.
This is great.
You could jog it out. A lot of people work things through in their mind when they're exercising.
Sure.
The thing is, though, is that you don't have a chance to go back at what you wrote in stream of consciousness. You see, so a lot of times, not only do you get great ideas, and also resolutions to the anxiety just by writing and writing and writing.
That
but
makes
then
sense.
afterwards, you can go back over what you wrote, and there might be additional nuggets there that might be useful to you for that upcoming event, or just to understand about yourself in general.
Yeah.
So that if you do this consistently, over any events that come up, and you go back and look at it, you're going to find that there'll be patterns. There'll be patterns. So you're going to see that there's going to be certain triggers, certain types of anxiety, certain core thoughts, and beliefs that you carry. And a lot of times you were never even conscious of them. And that they seem to come up again and again, whenever you feel a lack of confidence.
Oh, my God.
So that's what, of course, you want to get at. And then, of course, you need to know that, all that is just a lot of blah, 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 blah in your mind. And, when you've got a voice that's in your head, and everybody knows they have a voice in their head, if the voice is not
What
saying,
voice, right?
if the voice is not saying, well, and it talks as fast as Suzanne.
Now it said what voice, yeah.
The voice goes as fast as Suzanne does. But,
faster.
And faster. But when the voice is not giving you positive, constructive information that's useful and helps you grow in your life, or neutral, then really your response to that voice is, thank you for sharing.
Right. See you later.
See you later.
Yeah.
Right.
Bon nuit.
Bye. Hasta la vista. And you let it go.
Got it.
So
This is so great. And you mentioned the word nuggets, and what you guys have to get is what you just got was gold. What's coming out of Joan's mouth is nuggets of gold and diamonds, and I hope you are taking this in, because this is amazing. I can't wait. I actually am looking forward to my next stressful meeting. Isn't this scary? I'm not kidding. I am, because I just want to do this exercise so badly.
Oh yes.
I wish I'd brought her in last week before my big meeting, because this is so cool.
People do that. People do that all the time.
I love this.
Yeah, I do a lot of coaching, and not just with the entertainment, but in the business side of coaching, and people in the business side of entertainment as well. So we definitely, there's so many tools that I use, but this is a really good tool to use, because if there's something that's really big, that they're up against, but it can be very exciting for them. Wow. This really helps to develop clarity. Plus, you come into that meeting or that event feeling like you have a plan of attack, you've got a strategy, you know how you're going to start out, you know how you want to come across, and so you come in projecting confidence.
And that's the bottom line.
And that goes a long way, not only for you, but for, of course, the impression you make on the others as well.
Absolutely. Because I find, for me, the more confident I am, the more present I can be. When I'm present in a meeting, then I have a stronger listening for what's happening over there. Then there's a stronger communication. I mean, it just leads to the whole thing unfolding beautifully, as it should, and brilliantly. So I just want to thank you, because we're going to wrap it up, because I'm going to lock the door and keep Joan here. So we've got her for next time. And this was just absolutely brilliant today. So just before we tune out, though, I just want to say, since people might not be able to wait till next week to get to you, is there a way to, I know your schedule probably is booked solid, with amazing clients all over the world, but if people really needed to book a session or get to you, do you have a way for them to do so?
Sure. There's several ways.
Okay.
The best way is to email us.
Okay.
And you can probably do that. We do have an entertainment center, but it's connected to our main core business. So just use my email, Joan, Joan, at JPA-international, all spelled out, .com.
Okay.
So let me say that again. My core business is JPA International
Oh,
Inc.
okay.
Okay, and then we have Healthy Brain and Body Center of Beverly Hills.
Right.
And then we have the Entertainment Center of Beverly Hills.
Got it. Wow.
So they could probably also do the Info and Entertainment Center of
Sure.
Beverly Hills and just put in my name, Dr.
Okay.
Joan Pastor. But my email is joan@jpa-international.com.
Okay, brilliant. This is wonderful. And I thank you so much for joining me today. And this was absolutely brilliant. I have learned so much. I mean, you guys, and we know we're getting gold and diamonds here. So I just, we truly, honestly, I truly appreciate you coming in. And I know everybody who's listening does as well.
Great.
Okay, thank you so much, Joan. All right, everybody, we will see you. This was tip number 8 with Dr. Joan Pastor. And we will see you next Friday for tip number 9. Suzanne Lyons here signing off. Bye-bye.